Hi, my name is Harry Snell, and I'm a level 2 creative media student at Barnet College. And this is a presentation on my Unit 8 coursework and my overall experience in the Unit 8 course. So, first of all, I'm going to be explaining my proposal, which was um, a briefing of what I've learned, what I'm going to be doing, and my evaluation. So here in a section 1 unit, I've talked about how I've developed and built skills on the media topic and how to work within this unit. So first of all, I've said how I've gained and built on skills and information about Final Cut Pro, the general media, and how to create a Wix site. So I believe that one of the main skills that I've learned, which I've never done before, is editing, and that was for editing my PSA. In section 2 is my project concept, which I wanted to make something unique. As when we came up with F&P ideas, I didn't exactly know what to do because all the topics have been picked. So I went through a quick discussion with my tutor, and we came up with the idea to do something that's within my area. So I chose someone that's close within family, and that is a funeral directing business. And I wanted to explore um, how they deal with the problems they get every day. In section 3, here I spoke about how reflective journals helped me a lot, and the feedback I got was very beneficial to me as I could use it to help build on my ideas I already had. Next, we have the concept, which I've already briefly explained, but I'm going to go through again, which was I want to find out how a funeral director deals with everyday problems throughout their life. And I want to do this by a short documentary. And in this documentary, I made a questionnaire which I interviewed an owner of the funeral directors that is near me. I also spoke about the different type of vehicles they use and the different rooms that are within the funeral directing business. Some of the rooms are chapel of rest, the waiting room, and just the meeting where you discuss about your loved one's funeral. My target audience for this is, I'd say, from a mature age. This is where you have to, where I'd say you can watch this, as sometimes this can be a very sensitive subject to some people because it can affect emotions if it's taken the wrong way. So I've said here that I think it should be 16 or above, because they've grown up, they might have come across a family member passing, and that they know how to they've dealt with the emotions already, and maybe this will help them think about what a funeral director has to go through in their lifetime and career. Next is my research, and here is a couple of snapshots of what I found interesting within my research. But firstly, I'm just going to talk about my general research, which was just on my topic, which I've chosen. So I went into background information, I went into the history of it. Um, I also came into the the idea of actually setting up a questionnaire to see if this would be a sensible topic to talk about and document on. And now I'm going to talk about some of the research I found. I found it very interesting where that um, there's a cultural ritual that happened in the late I think it was the late 1800s, where there was something called the sati or suti, depending on how you say it, which it says down here. It involved the female partner of a married couple would kill herself when um, the partner of hers, her husband, had passed away. And this linked him with political content where the government took control of it and wanted this to stop, as it could encourage other cultures around the world and it could become a serious problem. I always found out the consumer market it really is like who is involved and when you should go to a funeral is really whether you're related or close to the family. But if you're someone who is just a friend of someone, it's your choice whether to go to the funeral. But the main people that would go to the funeral would really be the family members that were affected by it. Next is my production paperwork, which firstly was this spider diagram, which was about my funeral directing documentary. I found that this spidergram helped me a lot, as in the purple, it's the shot types I wanted to choose, and I believe that they helped me a lot, as it made my documentary a lot more interesting to watch. Location wasn't really a problem, as it was all close together. The website, this just helps people see my work, in a nutshell. But and the surveys, this was also here to help me get some information back on my topic to see if it would help people, or whether see if it's like an alright topic to talk about. And a lot of the feedback I got from it was very positive, and they said it would be very interesting because there's not many documentaries out there about funeral directing. And in the interview, this has helped me find out what type of questions I should ask the owner, which was Emma Sargent. And next up is the recce report, and this was just for me to know whether it's safe to film there, and I had to go out to the area, check it out, make sure it's safe. Some of the shots that I've mentioned are wide shot, long shot, close up, medium shot, and body shot. These were all included in my documentary, as I've already researched this and made sure it was able to do when inside the funeral directors. Next up is probably the main foundation of it, which is my storyboard. This allowed me to make sure I had no problems when filming my documentary, as I followed each of the 7 scenes, which then led up to my final finished product, and this was really what helped me make this film. So now is on to the filming. I believe that the first shot, which is showing East Barnet Village, this was a really good shot I took, as I think that it helps people get an understanding where it is and that there are funeral directors near people. The interview, it was very interesting. I found out a lot about the funeral directors industry and how they deal with the emotions. I came across one problem, which was that the Emma Sargent, who was the interviewee, she didn't want her face to be properly focused in it, and she felt sort of uncomfortable. So I chose to not focus on her, and I may get marked down on this, but hopefully they see an understanding, which made a quick subtitle about it. And then I also found out that they use a range of hearses in this film industry, such as a Volvo, Volkswagen, Cadillac, horse and cart, and Mercedes. And now moving on to my poster, which I really think is a beautiful part about my Unit 8 work. So here is a couple. This is my own shot I've got here of the back of a funeral car, and I think it worked very well with the border of like the leaves and branches that gave it a sort of nice effect to it. The text, the quotes around it, I believe they give it a real impact to the viewer, as the ones in bold, they really get into the viewer's head. And yeah, I think that I learned a lot of skills from this, as I learned how to fade an image, create separate layers, and make sure they work together. I learned the eyedrop tool, which was able to use the title, which is The Life of a Funeral Director, documented by Harry Snell, and that colour is the colour of the coffin where the coffin sits on, which is just in front of you now. And I think what I could do to improve this was maybe I could have got I'd say I'd say if I could get a more of a central image, because this image at first was wonky and I had to edit it, rotate it, crop it. And I think if it was just a straight up proper shot, I would have saved a lot more time. But that wasn't that was easy to work around. Here is my reflection. This is just one of them. I couldn't get them all in here, but this was really helpful in the work as it sort of helped me know what I'd done in the lessons, so I knew didn't have to do it again. If I was ever stuck on something, I could look back on it as here is a sort of example where it says what was difficult. I named what was difficult, and my solution here I've said what it was. And if ever come across this problem again, I can look back on this and think, oh, I know how to do this now. And the reflection was used on after every lesson, so I think I have around 20 to 30 reflections up on my Wix site and my reflection folder. And finally, my conclusion. Overall, with this project, I do believe that I've done extremely well. I've worked the hardest I can, put a lot of hours into this. What worked well? Everything was in by the deadline. Everything was completed at the top of my standards. I learned several skills within this unit. The tutors around me were extremely supportive. They helped me when I got stuck on some situations. And yeah, and what I think I could improve, I could have improved with my filming. I could have visited other funeral directors near me, and they could have given me some different ideas, and then I could have put them together, and then it could have shown two different sides of funeral directors and what one thought and what the other, and yeah. This has been Harry Snell talking about my Unit 8 project. Hope you enjoyed the talk.